Hey YouTube, so I've been playing with the Lensa app on my phone, and it's pretty cool. It does something called magic avatars now, which is pretty popular. And basically you just give it like 10 to 15 or more photos of your face, and it will automatically generate really cool like profile pictures for you, just very random assortments of photos using your facial features. And so I'll show it on the screen now. And very popular overall, but what I wanted out of this is I wanted specific avatar photos, and I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, well how do I get what I want? I want to be Iron Man, or I want to be a Mandalorian. How do I get that? So what I ended up doing is I used a little trick with Blender, and I'll show that here. I actually made a 3D avatar of myself that looks somewhat like me, close enough. And I did like a 5:2 ratio of photos of my actual face at different angles, and then photos of the 3D avatar of me as whatever character I wanted to be. Gave it some of those at different angles, and then did the upload and got really awesome results. Overall, I will say that this did not work when I did mostly 3D avatar photos. So if the ratio wasn't 5:2, it's just not going to work. And you have to upload more than 10 photos, so you probably want about 10 photos of your face at different angles, and then maybe 4 or 5 photos of your 3D avatar for whatever character you want to be. So what I do is I go online, I find 3D assets, whether it be Iron Man, Batman, whatever character I want to be. I do a little bit of 3D modeling. Put my 3D avatar head on, on that model's body, and then I upload photos to the Lensa app so it can see, what I'm wearing, right? And Lensa did a phenomenal job. I did this with both Iron Man and Mandalorian and got really cool results, and I'll show those on the screen as well. Overall, this is a really cool trick to basically, pre-train your AI on what you want to look like, what your avatars want to come out as. There could be other good methods to getting this done. If you have found good methods to doing it, please let me know. I'd love to see it. There could be an easier method using like Paint or GIMP Shop, Photoshop that does this same thing. So let me know if you found something that works for you. But overall, this worked really well. Just wanted to show you guys this process and how I got these awesome avatar photos. Alright, so the first thing I do is go to avatarsdk.com, and you can Google this website, but I'll put a link in the description of this video. And at this website, you can make a 3D avatar of yourself. Just click the Try Web GL Demo, and it will load up a Unity program where you can browse for a selfie photo. So I've always had good luck just having very stoic photos of myself, just a straight face, not smiling. So here's an example photo of a selfie you could load, and what you want to select is the head 2.0, and once you select head 2.0, just hit the generate button, and it will generate a 3D avatar of that head based on the photo uploaded. So here we have our 3D avatar head. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. Chose pretty much the right haircut and everything. You can do some slight modifications to face shape and haircut with the selection menu in the top right of the screen, or you can just download the model as well by clicking the download button. So I'm looking at the face shape here, and I'm going to actually modify it a little bit just based on the photo in the top left there. Just make it more realistic, a bit thinner, and the haircut overall I think looks good, and then I'll go to download. So when I click download, it's going to prompt me to sign up. You don't need to pay for anything. Just make a free account and come back to that page, and then the download should work for free. So for the next steps, we're going to use Blender, and if you haven't used Blender before, please watch my introductory video. I'll put a link in this video right now. So once you download the model, it'll be in a zip file. Just unzip it. It should have a OBJ file, which you can import natively through Blender. So just find your head avatar file and pull it into Blender. It should be an OBJ file. And there's our head that we downloaded. And let's fix it up and make sure it's good to go. I usually work with these avatars in the Cycles engine in Blender. I find that I get the best results that way. So I'm gonna put on the materials view of this model, and we can see the head was downloaded successfully. So now that we have it in Blender, I just need to do a few things to make it right. So I'm gonna go to the shading tab in the top, and the shading tab is where you manage materials in Blender. I'm gonna make sure my head is selected, and I'm just gonna pull the alpha to the alpha box on the principled BDSF there. And once that is complete, we're good to look at our model again, but you're going to see that it's kind of bumpy. So if we right click on our model and select Shade Smooth, that'll smooth out those bumps. It'll make it look a lot better. And now you can see that this head is actually looking fairly decent in the Cycles rendering engine. So our avatar head is good to go. So just save this file, and we're going to append it to another file later, so we can attach the head to a different body. So I want to quickly go through how to get XPS assets into Blender, and I'm on DeviantArt right now. I'm just looking up Marvel XPS models, and here's an example of Captain America, and there's various methods to download these. You will need a plugin for Blender to import XPS files. I'm going to show the plugin now. It is also on DeviantArt, but you can find it in other places on the web as well. This is a specific plugin I use for Blender. You will need to use an older version of Blender, and so I'll also walk you through how to download an older version. I'm using 2.8 for this XPS plugin, and so I just use it to import the models. I save them as Blender files, and then I open up Blender 3.0 again to do all my rendering and modeling. So XPS Tools 2.02, this is what I'm using. The download's right on here, and there's a MediaFire link. And once you download this zip file, you can go to your add-ons in Blender and just click on the install button and just click on refer to the zip file, and then it will automatically install the add-on into Blender. So if you go to blender.org and you go to downloads and then click on previous versions, you'll see Blender 2.7 there, and then you'll see a link to download every version of Blender. And if you just click on that, find Blender 2.8, you can download 2.8 and then install the XPS plugin into that version of Blender. And so I just got the zip file. I don't have an installer for it, just a standalone Blender instance where I can just have that plugin ready to go. So if I click on Edit, go to Preferences, and then click on Add-ons, I can just click that Install button, but I already have the XPS installed here. So if you hit that install button in the top right there and just refer to the zip file, it'll automatically install it for you. Easy peasy. Once installed in Blender 2.8, just go to Import and then go to XPS and then find your mesh model that you downloaded. And so I'm going to find the Spider-Man XPS model I downloaded, and then I'm going to import that into Blender. And then I'm just going to save it as a .blend file, and then I can open it up in Blender 3.0, do the editing, and then do the rendering as well. For a lot of these models, the head is a separate model, so I just click delete and it's gone. Makes that really easy. For others, I do have to go into edit mode and actually just delete the vertices and actually edit the model itself. These models come with a armature skeleton structure, and if I go to pose mode, select the pieces of the armature I want to move, I just, you can hit G for grab and move it, or hit R for rotate and then move your mouse, and you can kind of set the pose for the model that you want. You then want to hit File, Append, and find your head file that you have, your head avatar that you downloaded of yourself, and import that into this file. And you should be able to find it in the collection folder, and then you can find your head and then you can just grab it and scale it. You press S to scale, you press G to grab. You can scale it to the right size, and then move it to the right place on the model so it looks like your head is on the model, and then you can get some renders in cycles and take a few photos to upload into Lensa. I do recommend adding just a few planes here, just to have a little backdrop. So when you take your render, you can color the backdrop if you want. It's not necessary, but it just helps with the lighting and the camera work when you're taking this rendered photo in cycles. So I'm going to skip ahead pretty quickly here and just show one of the final render results that came out of this. This is for Spider-Man, and this turned out really well, and I uploaded 10 regular photos of my face and about 4 or 5 Spider-Man related photos to get the AI to generate photos that I wanted. So even as standalone renders, these are great photos, and basically just rinse, repeat, get the models you want, put your head on it, pose in pose mode, get some render photos in cycles, and save those photos for upload. So in the Lensa app, I uploaded the photos from Blender and the photos of my face, and overall it was a very easy process. Took about an hour to process, but at times it takes 20 to 30 minutes. I guess it just depends on how loaded their servers are, but overall the results were really cool. Here's some output from the Mandalorian photos. They were really cool. I mean, it took the Mandalorian suit and just made it mesh so well with my face. It was really, really cool. And then here are the results from the Iron Man as well. So hopefully you found this video fun. Maybe you learned something in Blender. Again, there could be an easier way to do this in the Lensa app, but overall it made something very unique compared to what's out there. So again, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.